You ever notice how making decisions feels easy in the morning, but somehow becomes harder as the day goes on? Not because the choices get more difficult, but because you do. At first, it's small things. What to wear, what to eat, what to start working on. You barely think about it, you just choose. But as the day continues, something changes quietly, not suddenly, not dramatically, just slowly. Now the same kind of decisions feel heavier. You open your phone and scroll instead of replying. You stare at your wardrobe longer than necessary. You switch between tasks without finishing anything. And it's not confusion. It's exhaustion disguised as indecision. This is what psychologists call decision fatigue, a mental state where your brain becomes less capable of making quality choices the more decisions it has to make. Because every decision costs energy, even the small ones. What to click, what to say, what to do next. Your brain is constantly choosing. And here's the part most people don't realize. It's not just big life decisions that drain you, it's the accumulation of small ones. By the time your day reaches its midpoint, your brain has already made hundreds of micro decisions. So when you finally need to do something important, your system is already tired. And instead of choosing clearly, you start avoiding choices altogether. You delay things, you postpone tasks, you tell yourself you'll do it later. But later doesn't come from motivation. It comes from mental recovery. And when your brain is overloaded, it starts taking shortcuts. You pick what's easiest instead of what's best. You default to habits. You stay in comfort instead of effort. And slowly this creates a loop. The less energy you have to decide, the more you avoid deciding. And the more you avoid deciding, the more overwhelmed your mind becomes when you finally have to. That's the decision fatigue loop. And it can make you think something is wrong with you, like you're lazy, unfocused, or undisciplined. But in reality, your brain is just trying to protect itself from overload. Because decision-making isn't infinite. It's a resource. And like any resource, it gets depleted. This is why the same person can feel productive in the morning and completely stuck at night. Not because their goals changed, but because their mental capacity did. And once you see this clearly, you stop judging yourself so harshly. You realize it's not always about motivation. It's about energy management. So instead of forcing endless decisions every day, you start simplifying. You reduce options. You create structure. You automate small choices where you can. Because clarity doesn't always come from thinking more. Sometimes it comes from deciding less. And maybe the real discipline isn't pushing through exhaustion every time. Maybe it's learning when your mind is already full and respecting that limit before it breaks your focus. Because once you step out of the decision fatigue loop, you stop feeling stuck and start thinking clearly again.